of racing here at the Scottish Indoor Rowing Championships. But first, we've got an interview to bring you. So I'm hoping that on the line now should have Johnny Luck, who's competing later today in the men's 30 to 39 lightweight 500 meters. Johnny, how are you doing?
Hey, well, I'm doing well. It's always a little bit scary in the morning trying to weigh in and fiddling out with the phone and getting the scale to work, but we got that out of the way. So that's a relief. So that means that for the rest of today, I'm trying to just stay calm, watch some of the rowing online. It's been really good so far. The production value has been amazing. And I'm so excited, not just for today, but for the sport in general, because I think this digital age is going to make indoor rowing much more accessible in the future.
Oh, that's really great to hear, and thanks for tuning in this morning. For those of us that have been on Twitter, we've had a fantastic insight into sort of the preparation you've been putting into this race. Loads of really great sort of detailed info about your prep. Just tell us a bit about why you wanted to, sort of what got you interested in signing up for this event, and sort of what your preparation has been like.
Absolutely. So, I mean, 2020 has been a really challenging year, and I've always loved rowing. I rowed a lot when I was at school. I rowed a few times over the last decade, but stuck in a flat, it was just really difficult to do proper exercise, especially as it got colder. So I pretty much invested and bought a Concept 2 rowing machine almost for this race because I wanted to focus. And it's been amazing because it's really helped my mental health. It's helped my physical health. And so that's been a really good journey. The first thing I had to do was to lose weight because I was a little over 75. And so I had to cut sugars, I had to reduce my salt intake, and that required a lot of preparation. The second was to build my fitness up and to try and really quantify my focus and the outcomes of that. And so it's been really good to have that energy. And I put stuff on social media to hold myself accountable. But what I found is that I got people, speaking to me, those I've never met before, messaging me. A few of them have bought rowing machines themselves, and there's a really strong community out there. And so that's why I'm so excited about the future of this sport, because I think this is the beginning of something even greater.
That's really great to hear, and interesting to hear you say that it's allowed you to sort of find a community that you may not have realised that was out there. I came very much from a on-water rowing background, and from doing some of these events, realising that people that are either rowing at home or rowing in gyms and so CrossFit boxes all across the country and across the world. It's been amazing to find that community that's out there. I saw that you competed in the Australian Indoor Rowing Championships as well, and just tell everyone what time of day you had to get up for that race.
Oh gosh, yes. So I got up at 1:30 a.m. to start sweating, to make weight at 2 a.m. and then to race at 4 a.m. And the timing wasn't even perfect. So I think I dragged on a little after that. And I live in a studio flat, and so I was making a lot of noise for the whole block. They were probably wondering what was going on. That was a really hard race, but just a shout out to Australian Rowing. They were actually very accommodating, and they were open to changing the time, but I just didn't want to ruin their schedule for the sake of little old me. So I'm hoping that today, because of the lack of time difference, that it won't be so brutal. But I do know there's some Australians rowing or had already rowed in this event, so good on them for doing that. And I know you guys did it in a special time for them, so it's great. Like global rowing, really accessible. And I don't know if I want to do another 4 a.m. race, to be honest, but I'm just glad I'm doing today at a normal time. I feel a lot better compared to last time.
Yeah. Fingers crossed that being on the right sort of sleep schedule will help eke out another couple of tenths of a second, maybe.
Oh yeah.
So you mentioned that you had a sort of long history of rowing on the water from school. Sort of how different do you find it from that when you're rowing as part of like a big squad and training on the water to mostly training by yourself and having to keep yourself motivated?
Yeah, it's quite a challenge in some ways. I think as a water rower, as both of us having rowed in the water a lot, the rowing machine has always been a kind of a device to help us row in the water, and so it's always been consigned to kind of the winter training. But living in like larger cities, at the moment I'm in the outskirts of London, where it's not so easy to get to a river. I found that rowing in the machine itself has become a kind of a self-identifying sport where you can actually focus a lot on your training just to improve the time. And actually, my time on the machine has improved a lot because I'm focused on it mentally rather than just trying to get into a crew, getting into the first date or whatever. So it's been quite an interesting dynamic mentally, because the rowing machine, it's all measured by numbers, and now that you can use a logbook to measure yourself globally, I find that really motivating. So motivation wise, I'm okay. I'm still very scared of the 500 of the 2K. I still have nightmares about it. It's a love-hate relationship, and I don't think I can ever get away from it.
Yeah, it is interesting, the sort of psychological difference between just using the erg as that tool, and I know that sometimes when a whole squad would be worried about a big test day coming up because you're trying to get fast on the water, but to do that you have to show that you're fast on the machine, and that shift to doing the indoors stuff is that's really interesting to hear. I saw that you've managed to convince your girlfriend to race for the first time as well today. Was she? Did you do any indoor rowing before this lockdown, or have you got her into it since you bought your machine a few months ago?
She's a complete newbie. She's never done this before. I think basically over the course of this year, I think she noticed I was gaining a bit of weight. So she very gently gave me permission to buy a rowing machine. But I don't think she realized how much of a rowing addict I was once I got the machine, because I'm on it all the time, every day, in between her conference calls for work. And of course I dragged her into it as well. And she's a bit more chill than me. She's also a lightweight, so we've had to run around trying to take photos, etc. I'm just really proud that she's giving it a good go, because I understand as a non-rower, it can feel very alien having this rowing machine and to race on it. People often see it in the gyms around the country, but how many actually dedicate themselves on the technique and trying to improve times? And I'm really proud of her for giving it a good go today. I don't know what she'll get, but I think she'll make us all proud. She's certainly making me very proud today.
Oh no, well, that's really nice. That's really nice to hear, and best of luck to her in her race as well as you, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah, you talked about sort of having like quite a sort of limited space and using the machine as a way to sort of be able to exercise. I think I found something very, very similar. I bought a cycling turbo trainer around the beginning of the year, and found it completely changed the amount of time I actually wanted to spend on my bike. I didn't have to worry about sort of when the weather was going to be nice or having to think about a route or anything. I just knew I could just leave my bike there, finish work, and just jump straight on it. So it's great that both you and your girlfriend have been able to sort of find that you've got benefit from the rowing machine from doing that as well.
Oh yeah, totally. I've lost over 4 kilos, and I measure my metabolic rate, and it's gone down to age 24. I'm 30, so I turned 30 and I bought a rowing machine for my birthday, and I'm probably fitter now than in my early 20s. Like, it is a transformational machine. And I really urge anyone and everyone to kind of, if you see a rowing machine next time the gyms are open, jump on it, because it's a really efficient way of getting fit, especially for people who have a really busy life. So, can't endorse anymore.
Yeah, just even a good 15-20 minutes on the rowing machine, if you're pushing hard enough, that'll really get your heart going. Well, Johnny, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today, for giving us some of your time. We won't take any more. Let you prepare and get rested in time for your race later on today. And best of luck from all of us.
Thank you very much. Take care, and see you on the other side.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot. So huge thank you to Johnny Luck there. We'll be competing around about 4:45 in the men's 30 to 39 lightweight 500 meters. Really interesting hearing his insight to someone who's really dedicated a lot to getting fast on